Assalamu alaikum, a very good day to you. Welcome back to our live Hilaal medical broadcast from the Musgrave Hotel, at least Coastal's Hotel here in Musgrave, Durban. I'm Gouwah Solomon. With me is Yusuf Vawda from the Regent Business School, and they're based out here in Johannesburg. Johannesburg. We have Yusuf Vawda. Sorry, I'm giving the introduction away.
No problem.
Yusuf, assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
You are, just give us a brief profile of what you do and where you fit in at Regent Business
No
School.
problem. Thanks for having me. So I'm a mechanical engineer. I run what's called the iLead Lab, which is an academic maker space, which basically encourages and teaches 21st century skills and 4IR skills to our students as well as clients and people that come through from businesses for training. So we teach 3D printing, robotics, laser cutting, and we've now got into the drone space and the robotic space. And the idea is to upskill our students in a way that we make them plug and play graduates, where when they go on to get employed, they are in a much better position to be employable. Okay. And we also expose our postgraduate students, like our MBA students and DBA students, to emerging technologies. The idea being that they must be in a position of knowledge to be able to understand what's happening in industry, especially their industries, and know the trends that are influencing their industry.
Okay, I'm hearing something in the background. I know the guys are focusing on something.
Yes, so
it's a little robot.
Yes, so that's
it looks
the
like a
newest
dog without a head.
Yes, well, he's got a little head there
Oh,
with
he's
a
got,
bunch
is that
of
his
cameras.
head? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we're still debating what to name him and whether he's
oh my goodness,
whether he's permissible or not.
Is that Unity? Is he named Unity?
Well, yes, Unity is the brand.
Is the brand,
so,
okay.
Yes,
so what's happening here now?
So basically, my colleague Sizwe is controlling this dog. This
oh,
dog
I see. Okay. Sizwe's got the hand. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So it's doing a bit of a dance and a bit of an introduction for you guys at the moment.
oh my goodness. Okay. so what is? Wow.
What is
what's happening to?
Yes. Is that what you're trying to ask?
I was
okay.
like, do I ask
question.
that?
So it is.
Oh
we
my
get it. We're used to it. Where everyone wonders why is there a lab in a business school?
Yes.
Or what are you doing there? Are you mixing chemicals or what are you doing? So we're actually using the dog, the drone, and these type of technologies to expose our students, but also for research and development. Okay. So during COVID time, for example, dogs like this were used for remote diagnostics. They were sent into places to diagnose patients and to take measurements of patients. They're currently being used, for example, on oil rigs and large rigs for inspection, because instead of sending in people where there's a danger to their life, they send in robotic dogs or robots to actually do the inspections and carry out those inspections to basically save lives and prevent any injury or injury on duty. So the applications for us currently would be for research and development, whether it's in the healthcare space, whether it's for our students, whether it's for clients. And the idea is also, we've always been teaching robotics on a small scale, but something like this combines all the various elements that you have in the different segments of robotics together in a functional product that students and visitors can actually see and experience.
So how is it actually implemented? You've mentioned that it goes out as research in the health sector and medical sector.
Yes, correct. So it's a recent addition to our team. So we now
He looks very excited though.
Yeah, he's very excited. He's been running around the venue and enjoying
attracting lots of eyes though. People would just stop.
Yes.
Like, what's going on here?
Definitely. And part of it is that, because we find, aside from the research and development and what we want to do going forward, hopefully, inshallah, we also want to expose people to this, because this type of technology, for example, as far as I know, it's one of the few in the country, and people are not exposed to this. But by just exposing them, and even in the healthcare profession, they may figure out a use for it. And they may come to us and say, okay, you have this dog, we have this idea. This is what we want to test. This is how we want to utilize it. You could also use it, and we're experimenting with this, to carry a payload. So it can carry, I think, about 6 to 10 kgs. So for example, if it's a disaster response and you have EMTs going in, the dog can actually carry the medication and the medical equipment in with the EMTs. Or if it's a disaster zone and you don't want to send in your EMTs or your emergency response because you're not sure about the structure and the structural, whether the structure's been damaged, and if it's going to collapse, you can send in the dog or the drone to actually do that. So it's early days for us, but to basically use it in industries, including healthcare, for research and development, especially where lives are being put at risk.
So South Africa's no way falling behind here.
No,
technology.
definitely not. Definitely not. And I think the biggest problem for us is actually the barrier to entry. So we battle with obviously internet access, with
Okay.
power and those type of things. So
Thanks to
there,
load shedding.
yeah, exactly. So, but there
Okay.
are places and there are people that are trying very hard to bring these products into South Africa and develop our own. And there's many examples in the past, including people like Mark Shuttleworth that went to space, the first astronaut. So we're not really, all the way back to Christian Barnard and the first heart surgery. So it's a bit of a myth, I think, that South Africa is lacking behind. We now have an app that's a free-based chatting app that removes the element of needing data. So there's a company that's actually developed that's actually taking over that digital space. And it's a South African homegrown product.
Brilliant.
So I think the more people and the more companies that get involved in actually research and development, and we say in the lab quite often, African solutions to African problems. We have our own unique set of problems. We can't rely on other countries and other continents to come in and solve our problems. So in our small way, and like my MD likes to say, in our small way, we're trying to bring this technology out, to expose people to it, to encourage people, and do our little bit in our small place in the world to actually expose everyone to this technology. And hopefully it'll spark some innovation and some development from maybe the attendees here or the students, ideas.
So who would register for Regent Business School then?
Okay, so in terms of the healthcare, if we look at the healthcare, we have an MBA in healthcare, which is focused particularly on healthcare professionals to basically bridge that gap with professionals that require managerial sort of qualifications to maybe run a hospital or run a department. We've got postgraduate programs that can assist in management. We very much focused on also your BCom students, your HCI, which is your higher certificate students. And being a business school, we also have short courses. We have courses in the lab as well, where anyone can come and learn about this technology. So we do short courses for a day or 3 days or 5 days where we teach these technologies. So it's not only limited to business students, but or our students. And we also work with corporates to do corporate training and develop curriculum for them for specific things like 4IR training or anything like that. So, but in the healthcare space, and our MD's topic was on disruptive technology in healthcare, and that's what we actually were trying to showcase here, including at our stand with the 3D printing and how it's being used by doctors, with the robotics and the robotic arm and how it's being used, in industry. So all these technologies, including drone technology and how it's being used, to drop payloads for medical payloads. So all of this technology and everything that we're doing is not only for our students, but for everyone else.
Okay. So where can people get hold of you? Do you have campuses in which areas?
Okay, so we have campuses throughout the SADC region. We've got campuses in Johannesburg, Pretoria, Cape Town, Durban. Our head office is in Durban. We've also got campuses in Namibia and Swaziland. And if you need any more information, our website is www.regent.ac.za.
When people come and visit your stall here at the exhibitions, what can they find and what sort of questions can you deal with? Who is all here to assist?
Okay, all right. So we've got, I think, all our technicians pretty much here from Cape Town, from Johannesburg. We've got everyone there. So there's about 8 or 10 of us at the stand. You will be able to see live 3D printing happening. You'll be able to interact with our dog, and even see some of our drones as well.
I'm even too scared to ask the parent, to tell the parents to bring their children, because this is a toy that they'd want to take home.
Well, we've got, someone is going to try and convince their grandfather to buy one for them. So, yeah, and it's very much, we've been quite happy with all of the kids and the students coming through to get a bit of exposure, because it's becoming part of like the CAPS curriculum, where robotics is getting introduced at schools, and effectively they're the future. So the more that they can upskill themselves, they'll probably be in a position, inshallah, in the future when they qualify to contribute in a way and innovate that will provide us with the solution. So please, if there are any kids, they're welcome to come and visit and ask as many questions as possible. And
they're going to want to take him home, though.
Yeah.
Not just
I'm not sure if Sizwe will allow that. That's his second
He's got to
child,
get through Sizwe.
Yes, exactly. So, but alhamdulillah, we've had a lot of different professionals from various different healthcare backgrounds coming through and asking some very pertinent questions and asking about how the technologies can be used in their industry. And I think that's what we're also here to just expose everyone to it and to get them to come back to us with ideas, even the kids as well. We've had kids ask a few questions and make us think a little bit. And Yeah, Alhamdulillah, it's been a very good
So all the
experience.
information is on the website, how to process administration, admissions,
Yes,
registrations, fees,
correct.
all of that.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So on the Regent website, and if you specifically want to look for the iLead Lab, we actually have we're on Instagram. So
Okay.
it's at rbs.ileadlab, and iLead Lab is spelled ILEADLAB. So
ILEAD. Said it.
LAB, yeah.
LAB.
So as
Sorry,
in
lab.
I lead
I
lab.
lead. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Any last words you've got for our viewers from Regent Business School?
Well, I think the main thing would be to not be scared of technology and not be scared of what's happening in industries. You know, we kind of have this tagline that says disrupt, rethink, innovate, and everyone is generally scared when things start getting disruptive.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to be a bit agile, we have to start adapting, and I think in every industry it's important to upskill. Lifelong learning is very important, and upskilling and taking on new technologies because they can really help your profession and help your productivity and efficiency. So I think just experimenting with new technologies, getting involved. I know the traditional ways are there, especially in healthcare.
I was just going to say, you know,
It's-
how easy was some of the doctors and even the medical staff, you know, open to this sort of thing and approach it because they're very scared,
yes.
the fear of the unknown.
Yes, in fact, it was a very good response. I think I
Okay,
had some of
alhamdulillah.
even some of the surgeons and all that I look up to that are far more elder than I am, and have been in the industries with the traditional way, asking me and telling me what they want to do with the technology. So they're like, "Can you do this? Can your 3D printer
Okay.
do this? Or can we make this particular product?"
Oh, wow.
And the response, alhamdulillah, has been very good. And I think it's changing. I think people are looking, and especially as much as I know COVID is an overused example, but
Yes.
it brought out a lot of innovation amongst people. It brought
Very
out
true.
a lot of people having to step out their comfort zone. Doctors doing remote diagnostics, doctors doing using apps to communicate. So all of this in the past was happening, but it was happening very slowly. But by
Yes.
being forced to adapt, they've now seen sort of the advantages of this technology and what they can do with it. And alhamdulillah, I think we've been very grateful for them and for their guidance and the advice that they've given us, because they're obviously in an industry and we're more technical, and they're in an industry which is ever changing and evolving, and they
They
actually
will
giving
see the
us the
need.
guidelines.
Yeah, they will see where the need is.
Yes, definitely. And
Okay.
a lot of them, and since it's on camera, I'm going to hold them to it. I have promised to visit us. So inshallah,
Okay, there we
everyone from
go.
dentists to orthodontists to surgeons have promised to visit us to see how these technologies can actually
Yeah.
make life better for their patients, inshallah.
They said adapt, adopt,
yeah.
and something else.
Yeah.
So it's all about that and
Yeah,
moving forward.
definitely.
And a big shukran to you and your team. Any last words you'd like to leave us with from
No,
Regent
Bush.
Business School?
No, shukran. Thanks
Shukran,
for your
alhamdulillah.
time, and thanks for letting us explain a little bit about what we do.
Absolutely, no problem. Thank you so much. That is Yusuf Vawda, head
So,
of
the iLead Lab.
iLead Lab. There
Yes,
we go.
shukran.
iLead Lab for the Regent Business School. Various campuses throughout South Africa as well as Namibia, you said?
Namibia, Swaziland. as
Swaziland.
well.
Wow, brilliant. So
Alhamdulillah.
just get on their website, www.regent.ac.za, to find out more information about the various programs, the robotics, the ILE lab. And let me tell you, the Muslims were one of the first mathematicians, if not the first. So they're just evolving what was already established in Islam. So stay with us at the IMA convention, broadcasting live in Musgrave, Durban. More to watch out for various programs as well. We will be introducing some more exhibitors just after this. Stay with us.